Hi, I'm Emily Hartzog, Vice President with Chartwell Agency. In this edition of the Chartwell Agency vlog, I'm going to give you 5 tips for credit union marketers when you're navigating the COVID landscape. Tip number 1, you may not know your members. Now, I know as a credit union marketer, you spend a lot of time getting to know your field of membership, but quite frankly, your members may not be behaving in ways that are predictable right now. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that human behavior isn't always predictable. So use this opportunity to get to know your members and what they might need right now. You can do that by talking to your tellers, asking them what they're hearing from members at the front lines. You can really pay attention to your social media channels or distribute surveys to gather insight directly from members. Whatever you do, assume you don't know what they need and get curious about learning more about what your members need right now. Tip number 2, think digital. If you're not already using digital advertising as part of your overall advertising spend, now is the time to dip your toes in those waters. I know they can be intimidating, but enlist the help of a partner to determine whether search engine marketing, display ads, retargeting, geofencing, social media, what of those makes sense for your credit union. We want to meet people where they are, and they're online. So digital advertising gives us an option that's not only scalable and customizable, but it's really analytic. So it gives us data to inform the rest of our advertising strategies. Tip number 3, do less. Now, that may sound like a welcome relief, but what I'm suggesting is that perhaps it's time to really focus our efforts on the promotions and the campaigns and the efforts that yield the best results instead of spreading ourselves too thin. So do less, but do it really, really well. Make sure that all of your efforts are delivering a great ROI for your credit union. And this may be the opportunity to cut loose some of those programs or initiatives that just aren't performing and wait for their time to shine. Tip 4. Make the bricks, but don't build the wall. What I mean by that is when we have a campaign or a promotion, there's a lot of elements that go into it. And we usually build out entire campaigns well before they're ready to launch so that everything is in place and ready to go. Instead, I'm suggesting you just build the individual Lego pieces, things like the core messaging, maybe a creative brief, and some sample tactics, but then wait to fully blow out your campaign until you're ready to roll. This gives you a little bit of flexibility if things change, and you haven't wasted a lot of time and energy on something that eventually won't see the light of day. So build the bricks, but don't build the wall. Tip 5, think in shorter time frames. We have to be flexible, and 2020 taught us that. So in 2021, we want to make sure that we maintain the flexibility and adaptability to respond to whatever comes our way. So think in terms of shorter time frames for your planning and your advertising buys. Your media buys probably shouldn't be more than about a month out, and you probably want to look at planning for about a quarter at a time. Things can change pretty dramatically, and so having the opportunity to check your promotions, check your creative against what's current and in your landscape is really important. So there you have it, 5 tips for credit union marketers in this COVID landscape. If you want some help or you'd like additional insight, feel free to contact us at chartwell-agency.com. Thanks.